What's going on, you guys? I'm back again. Happy 2020 to all of you. And today we're talking about my first film that I saw this year. It was a horror film in January, which normally that gets a lot of people turned off because normally horror movies in January are not very well received. And this was the first time that I've seen a horror movie in January that I'm actually reviewing. And what better way to start off than The Grudge? Now, this film was written and directed by Nicholas Pesce and stars Adrea Risenborough, hopefully I said that right, Demian Bichir, John Cho, Betty Gilpin, Lynn Shaye, and Jacki Weaver, and is about a young mother who murdered her family in her own house many years ago, and now a single mother and a detective are working to try to investigate and solve the case, and she discovers that the ghost from the Grudge movies is haunting this house. Now, let's talk about my history with this franchise. I never really cared for it, and I never really had too much of an interest in it. I've seen the first movie, and I didn't really like it that much, and I've seen the last 10 minutes of the third movie, which I thought was pretty creepy, but I still wasn't invested enough into the series. And so going into this, I was expecting this movie to be good and get me interested to see the previous movies. But this movie did the exact opposite. This movie makes me want to avoid this franchise altogether. Yeah, this is one of the worst films of the year. Yeah, very bad. Now, let's talk about my positives first, because I feel like I just need to get those out of the way, because there's only like one that I can think of. The only part of the movie that I loved was Lynn Shaye, who you might have known as the old lady plus paranormal investigator from the Insidious movies. As well, she even played in some of the Conjuring movies, which I was very surprised by. She was at the end of Curse of La Llorona, if I remember, and I think she was also at the end of Ouija Origin of Evil, which was very surprising. So, okay, I gotta say, the amount of times that she's on screen and her scenes, I was just invested with her. If this movie was about her character altogether, this movie could have won me over. It probably would have won me over, but it didn't. She was on screen for a short amount of time. She is on screen for maybe less than half an hour, which isn't bad, but I do think that if you want to go into this film and just see her performance, you're going to be happy for some parts. Yeah, that's really the only positive I have with this movie. And now, as far as the acting goes, most of it was fine to bad. Some of the characters are very flat, like you don't really get to know too much about them. I mean, for the single mother, you do know that her husband has passed away recently, and she's a single mom, and she has to take care of her son, and she becomes interested in this whole entire investigation involving the Grudge. And for most of you who don't know, if you enter the house that the Grudge spirit haunts, you're forever haunted by it until you die from it, which kind of sucks. But the main reason I really wanted to see this movie was because I'm a huge fan of John Cho. If you don't know, he was in 2018's Searching, which that's a film that I really enjoy. It was an honorable mention for my best movies of 2018, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I highly recommend you guys check that movie out, Searching. John Cho is in it. He's actually this guy in the poster. You only see the back of his head. But the thing is that he's not in the movie that much. And the trailers made it look like he was one of the main characters, but he was more of a side character who only appears in, like, not necessarily flashbacks, but this movie takes place in 3 different time periods. 2004, which was when the house first became haunted. 2005, which is John Cho's character, who is looking to get the signatures of the people who previously owned the house so he can sell it. And then 2006, which is the present day which is supposed to be the present time period with the single mom and the investigators. Now, John Cho isn't in the movie that much, so that really disappointed me, but his character was good in the film, and I actually really wanted to see more of him. And the scares, oh my god, the scares were shit. Yeah, they were terrible. For one thing, you anticipate every single one. It's done very cheaply. You know, sound completely dissolves and character turns around, shines a flashlight somewhere, and automatically there's a scary face. Like, ah, it's been done so many times. Oh my god. It really pisses me off. There's not one scene in this movie that really terrified me like that, except for Lin Shaye's moments. Lin Shaye's moments were genuinely terrifying. I really loved her performance in the movie. She looked like she really gave a crap about starring in this movie and really wanted to give this film a soul. It's like the film was trying too hard, and the only way they could do it was with Lin Shaye, and she almost brought light to it. But she's the main reason why this film is not an F for me. But because everything else was so bad, I'm very sorry, but I'm gonna have to give the Grudge a D+. Yeah, so that's my review for that. So thank you guys very much for checking this video out. If you guys want me to, I'll post another video where I talk about spoilers, if you're okay with that. So look forward to my next review, which is for Underwater. I'm actually very excited for that. If it's not Underwater, I might post something else, but trust me, Underwater is the next film I'm looking forward to seeing this month. So guys, thank you. Subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time.